me, community building means keeping the legacy going, keeping things current, providing safe spaces for the kids of the future and for the younger generation, the past, and building on that and continuing it forward and keeping the march going, always.
I contribute to the beloved community in Hyde Park by working with my neighbors. I intentionally, especially, like to connect with my neighbors of different backgrounds, different experiences, as well as my own. Um, Intentionally, so that we can produce a beloved community here in Hyde Park. So what does that look like? So if I know of something that's going to impact all of our lives or some of our lives, and the jury's out whether it'll be for the better or for the worse, I'm going to make sure I connect with my neighbors, with our other community leaders, which I have done and continue to do, and what have you, to make sure that that information is shared, that we have shared information, shared knowledge, so that we can go forward with a shared voice, right, and express what we need in our community of Hyde Park.
Community building means to me bringing people together under, again, the umbrella of unity and, most important, love. There's much more that we can do together than apart. Many hands makes the work lighter, and it's a good thing for us to really think about the importance of building our community, building a future for our children and our grandchildren. It's very important that we build our community.
We wish he could have still stayed here today, been here today. But he was an inspiration, which eventually led me in 1981 to try to carry on some of the things that he was doing. And yeah, I had great admiration and inspiration. I think those are the two words. And since I come from the 50s, further than that, but during the 60s, I was involved because at that time I had 3 children, and so I was part of what Dr. King was trying to do. So I can say that, inspiration and admiration.
Okay, I think that to build a beloved community, that we have to choose to be involved. We have to choose to be a part of change. We have to choose to find out what things our community needs and to work hard to bring those things to our community.
Community building is very important to me and to Janet, and we're committed to it because we have a lot to learn and a lot to escape from in Boston. Remember, in the 70s, we had a lot of separation in our particular area of the city, and it's been a comeback battle, I think, from that. I feel very comfortable now that we have, as I said, at the Christmas tree lighting, we have the place that Janet and I hoped Hyde Park would always become, a place where people of diverse cultures and races could come together and peacefully enjoy themselves together. Doesn't happen very often in Massachusetts and or America.
Yeah, I want to say that I do what I do because of the models that I was given. I grew up in the 60s, as I said. So many people were in my life. I was part of the first Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast ever held in Boston at the Commonwealth Outward. So people like Tom Atkins, Chief Jones, Huey Jones, those were names that were just always around, always at my girlfriend's home because that's where her mom held many meetings. So I carried that and the legacy that my family gave me forward. I've always been a person that has seen themselves as a servant, a humble servant in the community, as an educator. I've educated many children and all of them in communities that participated in the METCO program. They did that for all kinds of reasons, but obviously to support this notion of how do we create at least a human community. Children certainly can think what they want. They wanted to make sure they were armed with knowledge, self-knowledge, and knowledge of others.
So community
community building is really about how do we, as the beloved community, how do we, as friends and families and neighbors and new friends and new families, come together and make change? What do we do? How do we do it in a way that is completely intentional, is about breaking down barriers, is about coming to the table with our best selves, and are in the most honest and open way to break down those barriers, to fight all of the isms, to be intersectional about all that we do to make systemic change.
So building a beloved community in Hyde Park right now means for me to make the Pride in Hyde Park open on time and welcome our community into this affordable senior housing community that's the first in Boston and Massachusetts and all of New England that's going to be LGBTQ welcoming and affirming. So the beloved community means that we have to be intentional about how we create community. Martin Luther King was committed to housing justice in every way, and we're seeing housing justice being realized here in Hyde Park with the transformation of the former Barton Rogers School into affordable senior housing. So that's my work right now, and the cool thing about this project is how outward facing and community embracing it is. And so we're very excited about the Pride opening in 2024, and the honor of this award in 2024 cannot be more fitting.
So all of the people that we just saw on that video, they're well known in the Hyde Park community, and they do amazing work for us as residents. And it's rare that we get to say thank you for everything that is done. So at this time in the program, we're going to make it very clear that we are thankful for you. And at this time, I want to pass it to our featured poet of the day, Miss Alondra Bobadilla. Alondra was born and raised in Boston as a Hyde Park resident, an artist, and a groundbreaking narrator, and a voice for mobilization and transformation. She's a talented lifelong writer, having found and nurtured her love for writing since she learned her first letters. I'm sorry, Alondra. In January 2020, she was named Boston's first ever Youth Poet Laureate. Alondra uses her writing to highlight social issues that impact her and her community, and throughout her own work, she demonstrates how creative expression can be a powerful tool for young people to examine feelings around their issues, find their voice, and speak up about the changes that they want to see for their future. Alondra has penned many narrative works for Hyde Park events, most recently and today's writing an original, specially commissioned piece to honor Hyde Park's named MLK community. Today she performs We Give You Your Flowers, an ode to the 2024 MLK community builders.
Thank you, Isaac, for your introduction. Happy MLK Day to everybody that's here. This is We Give You Your Flowers. My favorite kind of people to honor are those that receive their flowers, then take the seeds to plant in the neighborhood garden. The sacred art of service, so often maligned by performance, is embodied in the authenticity of the works of these who sow and tend, pulling up weeds entangled in the new growth, these dressing the overlooked with greater dignity, these leading and preserving progress, laying leveled foundations for incoming generations. The beloved community is to be carried first in the heart before it can be seen with the eyes. Before it can be built by blood and by sweat, it must be loved first to become the beloved. And who will choose to love what is always breaking? Who will work to protect and restore what is essential to being human? The collective, the all, the village can only be loved properly with actions. What better poetry than to name who is to be honored? Let their names settle reverently on your tongue and be not just admired in the mind, but may they define for you what being the veins of the village means. Keeping the heart of the people in harmony. So as I read you their names, I implore you to whisper them under your breath till they become a part of you. These are Hyde Park's sons, rising in the wake of yesterday's ruins and shame. Today, they are the hands and feet of Dr. King's dream. Jeffrey Bailey, Scott Beatty, Michelle Consalvo, Lokita Jackson, Nosada Valerie Molyneux, Marietta Finney, Dr. Marilyn Kwarku, April Ricci, Dr. Ellen Scalise, Joseph and Janet Smith, Eve Mimi Turchinets, and Gretchen Van Ness. In honor, we give you your flowers. Thank you.
Thank you, Alondra. And now we will formally and virtually present the awards to them. The awards are presented by the people they, the honorees, chose. So the first person is Francisco Bailey. I'll pass it to you, Francisco. Do we have Francisco here?
If we don't, I'll just jump in. Francisco, are you here? All right, Francisco, we were hoping that you would tell us all about Jeff, but in your absence, we will absolutely concur that Jeff is amazing. Jeff is a leader. Jeff is our local hero. And so, in recognition of Jeff's efforts to build the beloved community in Hyde Park, through his work and commitment to youth, to their development, to their growth and their success, we celebrate Jeff Bailey as a 2024 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Builder and honor him with this award. Celebrate Jeff. Put Jeff on the screen. Is Jeff here? Thank you, Jeff, for all your work. All right.
Next, we have Deanne Simpson.
Am I honoring Scott Beatty? Okay. Scott Beatty is an amazing friend and amazing community leader. He serves on multiple boards, Hyde Park Main Street, Riverside Theater Works, and also participate in many, many community organizations such as the Community Input Board. He's extremely kind-hearted and makes an effort to really educate himself on current issue and the history of Hyde Park and the city. He embodies what it means to be an ally, and I'm proud to know him, and that is why he deserved this award. In recognition for your efforts to build the beloved community in Hyde Park through your commitment on economic justice and parity in the community, this award goes to Scott Beatty. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Kimberly Moore.
Well, no, TN still also does Michelle Consalvo as well.
Oh,
Sorry, didn't know if Michelle was next. Michelle is a dear friend and a community partner. She's always willing to help when you call her. She cares deeply about our community and was instrumental in the Anderson tree lighting for the past several years, and it couldn't have happened without her this year. You could tell that she loves the community because of her career in the nonprofit industry, the Y, the Muni, and now with Ethos. And most of all, she's deeply humbled, and I'm proud to have her as a friend, and that's why she deserves this award. Okay. In recognition of your efforts to build a beloved community in Hyde Park through your commitment to leadership in the community service and residential support. Thank you, Michelle.
Okay, now up next, now we have Kimberly Moore presenting an award to Lakita Jackson.
Lakita Jackson has the heart of a servant leader. Each day, she makes the decision to serve others' needs. In her interaction with others, she recognizes the opportunity and the responsibility to make a difference. Love is the driving force at the center of her being. The love of what she does, the desire to see positive, effective change, and the impact on the lives she touches. Lakita Jackson, in recognition of your efforts to build a beloved community in Hyde Park, Massachusetts, through your exemplary commitment to connecting, convening, and uncovering issues of concern in areas for collaboration in the community, we present to you the 2024 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award.
Okay, now we have Barbara Hamilton.
Hi, everybody. The honoree that I'm presenting is Valerie Molyneux. She's a woman of faith, wife to Roy and mother to two sons, Jay and Mike, member of the East River Street Neighborhood Association, and has lived in Hyde Park for 35 years. Valerie is a former teacher and Valerie is a former teacher. For 23 years, she was in the Western and school system. What I want to say is Valerie is the founder of Bid Friends Vitiligo Support Group. And we have 13 affiliates that Valerie helped start throughout the country. And it's for this reason that in recognition of your efforts to build a beloved community in Hyde Park and beyond, through your exemplary, groundbreaking commitment to education and advocacy around vitiligo and modeling a community participation and leadership. Valerie, we present you the award of Community Builder 2024. Yay!
Thank you, Barbara. Now we have Patricia Mulreen.
As quoted by Martin Luther King in 1960, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Marietta, Mom, what have you done for others? Specifically, what you have done for others, specifically the children of this community, deserves to be recognized on this very special day. It is my honor and pleasure to present you with the MLK Community Building Award. In recognition of your efforts to build the beloved community in Hyde Park, Mass. Through your enduring commitment to arts and leadership and inclusion in the performance community. Everyone can be great, everyone can serve. Thank you, Lord. I'm you.
Thank you, Patricia. Up next, we have Esanam Didi, who will be presenting an award in Maryland.
Good afternoon. It is my honor and pleasure to help present this award to my mom, Dr. Marilyn Smith Corku. From her time as a student activist at Boston College to her years as an educator, METCO director, and principal in Brookline, Wellesley, and Newton, respectively, My mother has always been a champion of equity, justice, inclusivity, and community. She instilled that same commitment in me. She teaches it to my son, and she has passed it along to the many young people whose lives she has poured into over the years. So it truly warms my heart to see her recognized here today for her service to the beloved Hyde Park community that our family has called home for 40 years. If you know my mom, you know she is an out-of-the-box thinker who sees possibilities and not limitations while pushing against the status quo. So I am deeply grateful to the Forum for Racial Equity in Hyde Park for recognizing and supporting that spirit within her and the many other deserving honorees who do their work to advocate for their community each day. So Mom, in recognition of your efforts to build the beloved community in Hyde Park, Massachusetts, through your longstanding commitment to community engagement and mobilization, we present you with this 2024 Dr. Martin Luther King Community Builder Award.
I will say it warms me to see parents get their flowers. That's good. Next, we have Anthony Ritchie.
Hello, everyone. My mom, April, a leader, an advocate, and a loving person. She is strong, brave, and kind. For her bold commitment to community and advocacy and business partnership, we present the MLK Award to her.
Thank
Good job,
you.
Mom. You know.
Thank you, everyone.
That's a nice tie there. You look very sharp, young man. Giving Councilor Pepin a run for his money.
Love it. Good job, Anthony.
Next, we have Leah Travers.
Hello. So I'm honoring my mom, Dr. Ellen Scalise. For as long as I can remember, my mom has been an active and dedicated member of her community. I admire her proactivity and ability to see the big picture. She embodies the spirit of service and equity, whether it's in the field of education, uplifting first or second generation immigrants, or as a volunteer in various committees, where she prioritizes listening and learning from her diverse neighbors to not just imagine a better future, but devise solutions to create it. As a member in the Hyde Park community, she's building bridges and is committed for the long haul to make sustainable change, including in this, her membership in the Hyde Park Community Garden, keeping Hyde Park beautiful, and also a member of the steering committee to establish a health and wellness center in Hyde Park. It makes me extremely proud to see her recognized publicly for that which I've observed privately for so many years in my own life. And with that being said, in recognition of your efforts to build a beloved community in Hyde Park, Massachusetts, through your firm commitment to advocacy and community growth, I am honored to present you with this award, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Next up, we have Vicky Gall. Did you all hear me?
Yes. Hello. Janet and Joe Smith have lived in Hyde Park for 52 years, working in the Boston public school system for over 40 years. Now they can be seen volunteering with the Fairmount Hill Neighborhood Association, Keep Hyde Park Beautiful, the Hyde Park Neighborhood Association, the Factory Hill Garden, the Friends of the Library, and also the Hyde Park Historical Society. Retirement allows them to enjoy community activities with neighbors such as you in the common interest of making Hyde Park a great place to live. Now, I'm not sure that Joe and Janet are on this gathering, but the citation for the Smiths reads, Joseph and Janet Smith, in recognition of your efforts to build the beloved community in Hyde Park through your longstanding commitment to neighborly care, the environment, and building community. Best wishes and continue working with us for all of us. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe and Janet. Thank you.
Next up, we have Sharon Hinton.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to introduce someone who opened doors for me on the Southwest Boston CDC, which she co-founded over 25 years ago, that provides affordable housing in Hyde Park and Roslindale. Someone so committed to the people's voice in District 5 that she ran for city councilor, which is how I initially met her at the polls over 12 years ago. Someone so committed to social justice that she champions issues of climate, economic, racial, and wage equity and justice in her current position on the Worker Empowerment Cabinet and Labor Compliance and Worker Protection Division for the City of Boston. In recognition of her efforts to build our beloved community of Hyde Park and Greater Boston through her commitment to grassroots leadership, social justice advocacy, and economic equity with the Community Input Board, Hyde Park Historical Society, Crane Ledge Woods Coalition, thank you for the honor of introducing another recipient of your 2024 MLK Community Builders Award, my friend and president of the Hyde Park Neighborhood Association, attorney Eve Mimi Turchinitz. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Very well deserved, Mimi. Last but certainly not least, we have Miss Eileen Montour.
Hi, it's my great honor to introduce Gretchen Van Ness, someone I've come to admire, respect, and know very well as we've worked closely together, bringing the pride to fruition. The through line I see in all of Gretchen's work, legal, legislative, political, organizing, mobilizing, running LGBTQ senior housing, is her constant quest for justice, equity, and inclusion in all things. She truly walks the talk in creating beloved community. Whatever issue or matter arises before us, Gretchen asks first, how does this impact the community? How can we make it work best for everyone? And going beyond that, she sees the existing injustices and actively strives to find solutions, truly demonstrating that not only is justice love in public, justice is love in action. So how incredibly fortunate you are to have her in the Hyde Park community, and how incredibly fortunate I am to have her as my friend and colleague at LGBTQ senior housing. So Gretchen, you are awarded the 2024 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award in recognition of your efforts to build a beloved community in Hyde Park, Massachusetts, through your celebrated commitment to legal advocacy, community organization, and mobilization, and LGBTQ leadership. We couldn't do it without you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yay! Gretchen!
Yay, Gretchen!
So once again, congratulations to all the honorees, and thank you for those that did the wonderful readouts honoring the 2024 MLK Community Builders. Before we close out today, I want to turn the floor over to a person that I'm sure we all know very well. This guy's everywhere across Hyde Park. I see him community meetings, I see him at youth events, I see him Little League, I see him all over the place. So I have the honor of presenting our last speaker, Rep. Rob Consalvo. Rep. Consalvo started his career in public service nearly 30 years ago as an aide to the Massachusetts Senator Edward Kennedy. He began as an intern in the senator's office and later held the position of staff assistant, press assistant, working out of Senator Kennedy's offices in D.C., as well as the city of Boston. Rob has also served as a legislative aide in the Massachusetts State Representative to Mass State Representative Angelo Scasia. Rob's experience in public service inspired him to launch his own bid for public office. In 2002, he was elected to the Boston City Council in a special election. He served 12 years as a city councilor for District 5, now held by Councilor Pepin, which encompasses the neighborhoods of Hyde Park, Reedville, Rosendale, and Mattapan. Today, Rob serves as a state rep for the 14th Suffolk District, representing the Boston neighborhoods of Hyde Park, Rosendale, Reedville, and West Roxbury. He currently serves on the committees on COVID-19 and emergency preparedness and management, housing revenue, and bonding, capital expenditures, and state assets. So with that, I will turn it over to the very well-known, well-loved Rep. Rob Consalvo.
Isaac, thank you so much for that introduction. If you don't mind, I'm going to take you on the road with me, okay? For every event I go to.
Whatever.
That was awesome. And no, look, I couldn't be more thrilled to be on this Zoom call today and at this event, one of the most inspiring events in our community. And I want to take the opportunity to thank Marcia Kim Jackson for all the work that she does, not just to put this event on, but our Juneteenth celebration. I'm proud to live in the West Fairmont Hill Community Group Neighborhood Association, and she's our leader. And just Marcia, you are truly a giant of equity and civics and community, and a civic giant. And I want to thank you for not only what you do here today, but all of these events around our neighborhood. You're amazing. To all the awardees, including my wonderful wife, Michelle, I'm so thrilled that you have received this award, and congratulations to all of you, so well deserved. And in fact, to all of the people on this call, if you're looking at sort of the 100, I think we'll get to 101 people, and now there's 85. You're looking at sort of, again, the giants of community building in our community. Everyone on this call does so much every single day in our community. Certainly the awardees who go above and beyond, but literally all of them, people, too many to name, who are on this call, who fight every single day for this community, who give their most important asset, and that's their time, their heart, and their love of our community. And I'm just so thrilled to live in this neighborhood. And to represent this community along with my colleagues in government. And I don't know if she's still on, but I don't know if Representative Brady Fluker Oakley was mentioned, but she has a precinct in Hyde Park as well. And she's my seatmate. We sit next to each other in the chamber, and we do a lot of talking and conspiring about what we can do to make Park even a better place to live. So I want to thank Rep. Fluker Oakley for her work in our community here in Hyde Park and the work at the State House. As I was taking notes, as I was listening, our themes today, which fit right into Dr. King's quote about everyone can be great because anyone can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. And those themes were hit on today, that they were love, community, equity, and most importantly, what we heard, I think, from everyone on this call was about service. Service to neighbors, service to Hyde Park, service to others. You've always heard me say that I ran for office because I still believe that government and public service is about helping people and making a difference in the lives of others. I also govern by another quote that says, if the day ever comes when the call for help is not the most important call of the day, then that's the day we quit this business. Because if we lose our zeal for service, we surrender our right to serve. And everyone on this call, our awardees and every person here has that zeal, has the most amazing heart overflowing with love and zeal to do all the things that they do for this community. And I've said we can't do it alone in government. We need our community organizations and our neighborhood organizations and our community leaders, because you're the glue that holds our neighborhoods and our city together. So congratulations. Thank you. Let's continue to do the great work out in the neighborhood. Let's continue to work together, and let's continue to help people. Oh, and I think, Marcia, you actually asked me to do the housekeeping stuff too. So before I forget, the New England Aquarium on January 18th, which I think is this Thursday, is holding an event to honor all of you, the honorees. So if you can be there and if you want to go, it's at 6 o'clock at the New England Aquarium. So it's great that
Not today, Wednesday.
Thursday the 18th. Yep. And so great that they're going to be recognized, all our awardees citywide, which is awesome. There'll be an email following this that will include the details on our community website. And also there's a banner at the Hyde Park branch of the Boston Public Library, which has all the community builders on it. So stop by the wonderful Menino Library and see all of our community builders. And if you can participate and be at the aquarium on Thursday, the 18th, that would be great too. So again, thanks to everybody. Congratulations. And I look forward to partnering again in the future.
Thank you so much, Dr. Consalvo. And I just want to close us out by saying thank you to every single person who joined us today. And thank you to all of those who helped me lead the session. Dr. Yablo, Thank you so much. Excellent work. Excellent work. Tough act to follow. You may have to do it again next year. I don't know. Just
Like I told Rev Gonzo, I'm here.
And then I want to thank Alondra. I know she jumped off. Today is her mother's birthday. So Alondra, what an amazing piece and tribute to each of our honorees. By the way, one of the things you'll be getting as your gift is a framed version of that poem that was made for you, just for you. You'll have that. And then I also want to thank Francesca, who taped her piece. Thank you, Francesca, for doing that. She was coached by her theater teacher, Mr. Wyatt Jackson. Thank you, Wyatt, for your leadership there. And Danielle, yes, thank you, Danielle, for your help and your work and your artistry that make this so special. And last but not least, the people who lead our community, Enrique, thank you, Enrique, so much. And Ruth Z, I don't have words for Ruth Z. I just don't. I just think she's phenomenal. And what a gift we have in her leadership. So thank you all. And as we close out, just want to close out this time. And did I forget anybody? Oh, please. Did I forget anybody? I thank Joe and Wyatt at the onset, right? Anybody? Did I forget anybody? Oh my gosh. Anyway, I see you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly, for being here. And all the other leaders who partner with me, who encourage me, who are really the wind beneath my wings, really. Seriously. Miss Pat Tierney, you are in that group too. I love you. I love you. I love you, Pat. So as we close, just another little theater piece, another little piece of video and speech we want you to hear. And we wish you the continued work and the continued efforts to really bring to life the legacy of Dr. King. Don't forget that you've got a part to play. Everyone can serve. Yes, everyone can be great in that way. So keep the beloved community work going. Keep loving each other. And we wish you a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you around. We'll see some of you Thursday. Hopefully you can come Thursday. Or go to the library. The Hyde Park Library has these given up. All right, here we go. Thank you all. Good afternoon.
The aftermath of nonviolence is the creation of the beloved community. The aftermath of nonviolence is redemption. The aftermath of nonviolence is reconciliation. The aftermath of violence, however, is bitterness. This is the thing I'm concerned about. Let us fight passionately and unrelentingly for the goals of justice and freedom. Let's be sure that our hands are clean in the struggle. Let us never fight with falsehood and violence and hate and malice, but always fight with love, so that when the day comes that the walls of segregation is completely crumbled in Montgomery, we will be able to live with people as our brothers and sisters. Oh, my friends, our aim must be not to defeat Mr. Engelhardt, not to defeat Mr. Shallows and Mr. Gale and Mr. Parks. Our aim must be to defeat the evil that's in them. But our aim must be to win the friendship of Mr. Gale and Mr. Shallows and Mr. Engelhardt. We must come to the point of seeing that our ultimate aim is to live with all men as brothers and sisters under God and not be their enemies or anything that goes with that type of relationship. Coming to the conclusion now. Gonna remind us that freedom never comes on a silver platter. It's never easy. God reminds us that whenever you break out of Egypt, you better get ready for stiff battle. You better get ready for some homes to be bombed. You better get ready for some churches to be bombed. You better get ready for a lot of nasty things to be said about you because you're getting out of Egypt. And whenever you break loose from Egypt, the initial response of the Egyptian is bitterness. It never comes with ease. It comes only through the hardness and persistence of life. And freedom never comes easy. It comes through hard labor and it comes through toil. It comes through hours of despair and disappointment. That's the way it goes. There is no crown without a cross. I wish we could get to Easter without going to Good Friday, but history tells us that we got to go by Good Friday before we can get to Easter. That's the long story of freedom, isn't it? Before you get to Cana, you got a Red Sea to confront. You have a hardened heart of a Pharaoh to confront. You have the prodigious hilltops of evil in the wilderness to confront. And even when you get up to the promised land, you have giants in the land. The beautiful thing about it is that there are a few people who've been over in the land. They have spied enough to say, even though the giants are there, we can possess the land because we got the internal fiber to stand up amid anything that we have to face. The road to freedom is a difficult, hard road. Something else came to my mind. God comes into the picture even when the church won't take a stand. God has injected a principle in this universe. God has said that all men must respect the dignity and worth of all human personality. And if you don't do that, I will take charge. It seems this morning that I can hear God speaking. I can hear him speaking throughout the universe, saying, be still and know that I'm God. If you don't stop, if you don't straighten up, if you don't stop exploiting people, I'm going to rise up and break the backbone of your power. And your power will be no more in the power. I say to you this morning, my friends, rise up and know that as you struggle for justice, you do not struggle alone, but God struggles with you. And he's working every day. Somehow I can look out. I can look out across the seas and across the universe and cry out, my eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He's stamping out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. Then I think about it because his truth is marching on. And I can sing another chorus. Hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Then I can hear Isaiah again because that has profound meaning to it. That somehow every valley shall be exalted, and every hill shall be made low. The crooked places shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. The glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. That's the beauty of this thing. All flesh shall see it together. Not some from the heights of Park Street, and others from the dungeons of slum areas. Not some from the pinnacles of the British Empire, and some from the dark deserts of Africa. Not some from inordinate superfluous wealth, and others from abject, deadly poverty. Not some white and not some black, not some yellow, not some brown, but all of flesh shall see it together. They shall see it from Montgomery, they shall see it from New York, they shall see it from Ghana, they shall see it from China. For I can look out and see a great number that John saw marching into the great eternity, because God is working in this world and at this hour and at this moment. God grant that we will get on board and start marching with God, because we got orders now to break down the bondage and the walls of colonialism, exploitation, and imperialism, to break them down to the point that no man will trample over another man, but that all men will respect the dignity and worth of all human personality. Then we will be in Canaan's freedom land. Moses might not get to see Canaan, but his children will see it. He even got to the mountaintop enough to see it, and that assured him that it was coming. But the beauty of the thing is that there's always a just way to take up his work and take the children on in. And it's there waiting with his milk and honey and with all of the bountiful beauty that God has in store for his children. Oh, what exceedingly marvelous things God has in store for us. Granted, we will follow him enough to gain them. Oh God, our gracious Heavenly Father, help us to see the insights that come from this new nation. Help us to follow thee and all of thy creative work in this world, that somehow we will discover that we are made to live together as brothers, that it will come in this generation the day when all men recognize that followers of God, the brother of man.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you. Happy MLK Day. God bless you. Hyde Park, yes. Great to see you.